always the prince. You always had someone tying your shoes, wiping your ass, and 3 motherfuckers in the tub as a concept. And you were destined to be the king. But if destined to be the king, and the girl that he was going to marry represented the love he already accomplished. So we already run the universe. We already accomplished. What he needed to do was go to Queens, which represents Earth, to find new love. It's a form of alchemy. So he did all the nigga shit. Worked at McDonald's, went to church, haircut. Let them have our princely robes. We don't need them here. So we went, it's the Prince and the Pauper story. We came down here to be a pauper to only resurrected. Fairy tales is this whole story. You come down here to rescue the fallen daughter. You know, we the fallen daughter, Earth, and all of these kind of things. So it's not just a Gnosticism. This whole story of us redeeming ourselves is nothing but alchemy. You must go all the way down to come back up. As in Eddie Murphy, he brought the new love to the kingdom and lived happily ever after.
Beautiful. Wow. Brother Panic. Very good. Thank you so much for calling in the Peacemakers there. Appreciate you guys' support and listening in to the remix. And for those of you out there listening, you should go over to www.theremixradio.com, get signed up. You can find out all of our great guests and listeners. They're over there hanging out as well, so get yourself signed up. Right now, we have over 20-plus people on the phone lines, so I am going to go ahead and start going to the call lines. I'm going to ask that you keep your questions very brief. We were waiting on Dr. Phil Valentine. Apparently something has come up because he has been a guest here on the remix, but no fear. We will continue the show, and I'm sure he will be back to grace us with his presence and all of the wonderful as well. And he may be on the line right now. I don't know. But if so, we're going to go down the call line. Caller calling in from area code 773. You're on line 4. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
That's it. Can I be heard?
Yes, you can. Peace and greetings to you. Is this Brother Comedic Valley, our chief engineer over on the remix?
Well, that's Comedic.
What's up, Panic?
Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks for the theme music. That shit is off, and the new one is off the hook. You figured my shit out thoroughly.
my man.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
Hey, thanks to you, man. Thanks for being here for us, on the real.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Y'all good-hearted people. This is that message.
Well, thank you. All right.
Hey, let me ask a quick question. Panic, when we physically come in contact with our bloodline ancestors who have transcended, is that because a lot of times you hear about the ancestors or deities transcending to a higher realm. You know what I mean? When they're able to physically come to us, I hear stories all the time. It's happened to me, where a living person who has transcended will come back and ask questions. Do people remember me? This and that. What exactly is that, and what realm are they in, and will they ultimately ascend to a higher realm where they're no longer in contact with this realm?
Sounds good one. Good question. In the Gnosticism, if you remember, we just talked about Yaldabaoth. When he got below the abyss, he tried to mimic what he seen above him out of jealousy. That's where you even get I'm a jealous God. What he created was the physical firmament, earth, to put his feet on in this particular mythology, and to rest his ass on, he created the astral worlds. The astral worlds are where you go when you drink. It is actually still a part of third dimension and still a part of the illusion. The perfect movie to see for this is What Dreams May Come by Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes,
it is absolute description of what happens to you when you die to the T. He went to the astral world, and they told him, ironically, you create whatever world you want here with your mind. Now, his wife tortured life on Earth. She went to her own mind and her own definition of hell. In fact, Robin Williams' heaven was a painting that him and his wife bought when they first seen when they were in love, and they based their marriage on this one painting. So when he died, he went right to the painting, his definition of heaven. Now, the occult people know that even though you felt you had a tortured and silly life on Earth, and you're going to heaven when you die, the other trick is, no, you're actually going to the astral world when you die. And even though it's a better place, you're still stuck. Star Trek Generations, they showed this. When Captain Picard met Captain Kirk, who died, and Captain Kirk was doing all the shit he loved. He was, you know, riding his horse, was with his wife, making eggs and shit, and Captain Picard was trying to tell him, no, you died. This isn't real. But it feels real. It feels good. My wife. It took him a while for him to realize he still wasn't in the world of the real. Now, oddly enough, a sister was telling me about this week. You know, her grandfather sees all these spirits around the house, and there's this nigga chopping wood. What happened with the nigga that's chopping wood, and I was explaining to her, he may have been a slave or just a poor Negro like everybody else, and he may have found a job chopping wood that fed his family, that kept him warm, or kept a whip off his ass, gave him self-esteem at the time. So for him, in his mind, this was manna from heaven, chopping wood in his particular day. So when he dies, because he knows nothing else, because he's ignorant of it, or haven't been going through these death in lives as long as us, the gods, have, he'll be chopping wood in a dimension. So the dimensions are nothing more than where most of these relatives go, especially the ones who don't know anything. They're going to their definition of heaven or hell based upon their lives. So your relatives still can see you. They're still attached. They haven't even left the earth realm. You know, everybody's scared to die. So you would take your auntie, and while she's hanging around, why you still hear her banging pots in the kitchen, coming to you at night, because she don't know shit. She's trying to figure out, she's still trying to go to your damn graduation, to cookouts and all that shit. Some of them don't even know they dead. That was what the whole movie Sixth Sense was about. They come into these mediums and like, look, motherfuckers, you dead. So these dimensions are even worse than Earth. So the key of us, what we are here to do as God, is not only to end Earth, because it has reached its course. We weren't here for thousands of years. We were here for billions of years. It's run its course. It's time to end it, and when we end it, we're ending all the dimensions as well. Everybody gets to go home. The system is what we're shutting down, and the system are these dimensions. Now, if this man chopping wood is stuck in this dimension, eventually the dimension will burn up, he'll get absorbed and become a baby again. Another human to do it all over again. So he'll become a baby again. So in other words, they're not ascending, they're just falling back to Earth by being stuck on these dimensions. So the key is to get the knowledge to get the fuck up out of here or go beyond the illusion. And why is it so key for you to get into astral traveling and lucid dreaming, not only to visit people's houses here and see some titties, because when you die, you want to be competent in that world. And that happens because you exercise the part of yourself that is real in that world. You exercise the part of your mind. So in other words, based upon this, when you die, you'll still have the presence of mind that you have as a conscious person navigating through these dimensions to realize, that's some bullshit right there. And let me just give this. When they tell you to walk to the light, most people are walking towards astral light. And when you walk towards the astral light, you get another human body. You are supposed to walk towards the darkness, because what you're doing is going deeper into yourself. Then you will see a small light. This small light is actually your soul. You're supposed to be walking to your soul, the light of your soul. Now, the knowledge that you gain here, you are illuminating that part of yourself. Most people aren't conscious enough to find the light of their soul to walk to, and that's the way home. When you walk towards the light and all of them relatives and all of them, remember, these are the same dumb relatives we were talking about, you know what I'm saying, that used to cook chitlins and shit. So I ain't going where the fuck they going. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going where the fuck they going. You are supposed to walk towards the darkness until you see your own light. Astral light is this realm. That's a very important thing to say, you know, for people to understand. I'm glad I got that out. Did that answer it, Comedic?
Yes, I believe that did answer it for him. We're going to continue on. We had lots of callers on the phone line, so you guys who called in, if you still have your questions, 646-652-2711, or just simply click to talk. We do have another caller calling on line 6. Caller from area code 518, you are live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.